My name is Joe O'Brien. I'm the Executive Director of the Chester County Intermediate Unit. On behalf of the Chester County Intermediate Unit, I'd like to welcome you and thank you for participating in our first annual Constitution Day celebration. Now, most people know that the Declaration of Independence was adopted on July 4th, 1776. But not everyone is aware that the Constitution was really not signed until September 17th, 1787. So it took 11 years, 2 months, and 2 weeks after we declared our independence to develop the wonderful document that we know and cherish today, our Constitution. In recent years, there's been an effort to increase awareness of the importance of this occasion in our nation's history. To support this effort, we gather today as a community to celebrate the formation and signing of the Constitution, which secured us our rights and the many freedoms we enjoy today. We recognize citizenship for all who were born in the United States, as well as those who came to the United States through the naturalization process, making America the great melting pot it is today. I would like to give a special thanks to Mr. David Woods from Engaged Citizenship for helping us facilitate this important event. Mr. Woods, thank you. To get our celebration started, I would like to welcome the PA 771 Air Force Junior ROTC from Coatesville Senior High School for the presentation of the colors. Color Guard, please present our colors. Thank you for that dignified presentation. Next, please welcome the Henderson High School Chamber Choir as they perform our national anthem. Henderson High School Chamber Choir. That was a beautiful performance. Thank you, Henderson High School Chamber Choir. At this time, I would like to welcome the Honorable Eric Rowe, who will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance and the preamble to our Constitution. Representative Rowe.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It's now my honor to lead perhaps the greatest introductory statement I've ever read, and that's the preamble to the United States Constitution. Please join me. We, the people of the United States in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America.
Thank you to the Coatesville Senior High School Junior ROTC from the Air Force. I want to note that in addition to it being the anniversary of the signing of the Constitution, it's also 70 years celebrating the establishment of the U.S. Air Force as an independent branch. Very proud to have them there, so thank you. We have a lot of our elected representatives here today, and I think it's very fitting that they're here, and I really appreciate the fact that they take time from their busy schedule to come and help us celebrate Constitution Signing Day. Here to start us off in grand style is our United States Congressman Ryan Costello. I'd like to invite him up to say a few words.
Good morning and welcome, everyone. 230 years ago, nearby in Philadelphia, the Constitution was signed at Independence Hall. Each year as we celebrate Constitution Day, we reflect on the charted course for our country's future, as the Constitution protects our rights and establishes the specific role of the federal government. We just heard the reading of the preamble, as cited by State Representative Rowe. That should remind us all that our democracy, the oldest democracy in the world, comes with unmatched freedoms and incredible responsibility, and that we should guide ourselves to be good, thoughtful citizens. Not everyone in the world enjoys the rights that we oftentimes take for granted and that our Constitution protects. That is what makes it and our country so very special. I hope you all enjoyed the opportunities in school and here today to learn more about the Constitution and our country's founders. Thank you.
Well said, Congressman Costello. Thank you. At this time, we have the Honorable Harry Lewis Jr., who will speak, followed by the Honorable Carolyn Comida. Representative Lewis.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, young students. Constitution, ladies and gentlemen, students, is so significant. Our U.S. Constitution is well-regarded globally. It is the foundation of our way of life, and for U.S. citizens and for those striving to become citizens. It is important that we appreciate the protections and the freedoms that we have under our Constitution. Many people from around the world strive to come here because of those protections and freedoms. The Constitution strives to keep the government in check so our government doesn't arbitrarily or unfairly impose its power on any one of us. Yet, it is a living document that is constantly being scrutinized and tested. The courts interpret and infrequently make amendments or changes. After more than 200 years, we continue to debate the issues, clarify and strengthen the checks and balances that keep our Constitution relevant and working for all of us. The Founding Fathers heartily debated issues as they wrote the Constitution, and we continue to debate those issues. It is critically important that we continue to review our laws. Debates should continue in a respectful manner. So as students, as teachers, and administrators continue to review and consider the Constitution, and equally important, Don't be a couch potato. Participate as a citizen. Otherwise, we run the risk of losing our protections and our freedoms. Thank you, and God bless America.
Good morning, friends. We are so delighted to be together with you on the steps of our beautiful historic courthouse here in Westchester, the county seat of Chester County. And I am very proud and honored to be representing the people of the 156th District in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. Today is Constitution Day, and the day that we celebrate the remarkable and very unique Constitution of the United States, signed 230 years ago today. And we've been hearing from some of our speakers about the importance of the Constitution. A Constitution is it's a body of fundamental principles and values that guide an organization, a state, or a country. Did you know, I think I'll just take a moment to tell you, Pennsylvania has a constitution as well. Now, today is not the anniversary of the signing of the Pennsylvania Constitution, but as a state representative, I thought, I'm going to just tell you a little bit about it. The importance, of course, is that Pennsylvania started right here in Philadelphia. So we are celebrating here in Chester County, right next door to where our Constitution was signed. So Pennsylvania has had 5 different revised constitutions. The first written in 1776, and most recently revised in 1968. So it is a living document, just like the Constitution of the United States. And the people can say, you know, maybe we need to update and make the Constitution, the values, the principles, reflect the needs of the people today. Prior to Pennsylvania having a constitution, the province of Pennsylvania was governed for a century by a book titled Frame of Government, written by, who else? William Penn. There are 4 versions of that one. First one he wrote in 1682, and the final one in 1701. There are many important pieces of our state constitution. My personal favorite is Article 1, Section 27, the Environmental Amendment, which guarantees our right to clean air and clean water. It is also very important to note, especially with all of our students and teachers today, the only absolute requirement of the Pennsylvania State Legislature, noted in the Pennsylvania Constitution, is the right to a free and efficient public education. So let's give our students a round of applause and our teachers. We are working really hard to make sure that you have a free, efficient, and wonderful education for every child in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I hope you'll go back to school and take a look at our state constitution as well. Look at the similarities and differences between the Pennsylvania and the U.S. Constitution. These are our constitutions, our rights. We write them, we the people, right? Together with our elected officials to ensure security, prosperity, and freedom for all. Thank you, and happy Constitution Day.
Thank you to our congressmen and our representatives. Well said, well spoken. Now, we also have representatives from Chester County Commissioners, Michelle Kitchline and Kathy Gazzone. I'd like to welcome them to the podium to say a few words on Constitution Day.
Good morning, everybody. It's so good to see so many of you out here. I often say, I have 2 kids of my own. I often think they actually learn more when they get out of the classroom, so kudos to the teachers for bringing you out here and kind of having a living experience about the Constitution. As we heard, 230 years ago, on September 17th, 1787, the delegates to the Constitutional Convention met for the last time to sign the document that they had created, the Constitution of the United States. We, the people, the preamble that we all recited a few minutes ago, referenced the desire to try to create a more perfect union. Not a perfect union, but a more perfect union. It's said that our forefathers understood that while we will never be perfect, it is always important to try to be more perfect. The preamble to the Constitution was written during the Philadelphia Convention, now known as the Constitutional Convention, which met between May and September of 1787. This morning, as we're placed right here on the steps of the Chester County Historic Courthouse, I'd like to focus on one portion of the preamble, the portion that talks about established justice. When our founding fathers declared the desire for us as a country to establish justice, they were most likely referring to the lack of justice that was extended to the colonies by Great Britain. It's one of the main reasons for the War of Independence. To establish justice then and now is to determine our rights and administer laws that are just and fair to all citizens. Chester County has been establishing and upholding justice for centuries on this very spot where we are sitting and standing today. Centuries of judges, of jurors, of prosecutors, and defenders have been ensuring that Chester County citizens, as American citizens, have the right to a fair trial and must follow laws that extend justice to everyone. We're not always perfect, but then the preamble of the Constitution didn't say we have to be perfect. We just have to strive to be more perfect every day.
Good morning. Good morning, kids. I'm so excited to see so many of you here. I also want to thank your teachers for taking the time out of the classroom day to have your kids participate this morning. The preamble to the Constitution of the United States gives us guidance on the meaning of the Constitution and what our founding fathers hoped the Constitution would achieve. It was written by 5 members of the Committee on Style. That's an interesting name for a committee, but that was the name of the committee. And each phrase is important for understanding the purpose of the Constitution. Commissioner Kitchline focused on one aspect of the preamble, and I'd like to highlight another and share with you how relevant it is today as it was in 1787. We, the people, in order to form a more perfect union, agree to promote the general welfare, one of the basic values of our Constitution, and a basic value that we have all individually and as a nation undertaken and should continue to uphold each and every day. Our forefathers wanted to make sure that government focused on concern for the health, the peace, and the safety of all its citizens. And as county commissioners, this is one of our main priorities for all of you, the residents of Chester County. It's why we invest in our first responder community, our firefighters, our police, our emergency medical service personnel, and our 911 emergency call system. It's why we invest in our court and judicial system, and it's why we invest in providing social services to the most vulnerable people in our community. And nowhere is this reference in the preamble to our Constitution more relevant than in the support that our government and our people are giving right now to those who have been affected by Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma. Chester County has a tremendous network of volunteer organizations that support our government departments in promoting the general welfare of the people. And I'm sure that many of you here today have, through volunteering with nonprofits, also promoted the general welfare of all. All of us here continue to uphold the directives, the wishes of our founding fathers when they wrote and signed the preamble to the Constitution of the United States. Thank you.
Thank you, Chester County Commissioners. I'm going to welcome to the podium Jessica Dauphiné and Victoria Wright from the Chester County Student Youth Forum. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I had a chance to sit and listen to our congressmen, our representatives, and our commissioners speak, and there's one theme. And at one point, one of the distinguished guests whispered to me, "It's so great to see the students here." That theme is that this is about the students. So we have two students with us today who are going to debate whether they should sign the Constitution or not. And believe it or not, back in 1787, there were some disagreements that we had. This one centers on the issue of federalism. So you're going to hear a debate, a short scene, consisting of the final discussion prior to the signing of the Constitution between John Jay, a citizen of New York and a strong Federalist, believed in strong federal government, and Elbridge Gerry, a delegate from Massachusetts and an anti-federalist. If you have the little program with you, the dialogue is on the back of that program, so you can follow along. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jessica and Victoria to enact that scene.
Mr. Gerry, I humbly request that you reconsider your reasons for not supporting this Constitution.
But Mr. Jay, I cannot stand by it. I cannot sign my name to a document that does not secure the rights of every American.
But we are accounting for that. We will have a chance to amend this Constitution.
Yes, but should free people adopt a form of government that they believe needs amendment? This document is unacceptable.
This document is as good as we can make it. Tell me, Mr. Gerry, do you think it is possible to come up with a better plan? We cannot please everyone. I say that delaying this ratification of this Constitution will put our country at great risk.
I know, you believe that our enemies will see our indecision as weakness, and our creditors may stop lending to us. But isn't personal freedom important too?
We have been meeting for such a long time. What if we reject this Constitution? Would we ever be able to come up with something else?
What do you suggest we do?
I believe we should ratify this Constitution, give it a fair amount of time for work for the people, fix it as time, occasion, and experience may dictate. What do you suggest we do, Mr. Gerry?
I believe we should add a Bill of Rights that secures the liberties of the American people. It pains me to disagree so strongly with those who signed, but I sincerely believe that the American people deserve to have their rights protected.
Well, Mr. Gerry, we are putting this decision in the hands of the American people.
Indeed, and I sincerely hope that whatever Constitution is finally adopted will secure the liberty and happiness of America.
Did a nice job. If you follow that, it's on the back of your program. You see the dialogue, which was a very important dialogue. In a few moments, we're going to ask you to step forward and decide whether you want to sign or not. We have some replica constitutions at the table. But before we do, please join me in acknowledging some other very special guests in attendance today. Not everyone who wanted to be here could be here, but look at the number of people who've taken time out to be here to recognize this Constitution Signing Day. We have the Honorable Jacqueline Carolyn Cody, who's President Judge of Chester County. We have Ms. Christine Zaccarelli, President of the Chester County Bar Association. And representing the Daughters of the American Revolution, up here on the podium, or near the podium, we have Karen Kristen. And down at the table, we have Barbara Wheeler, who's going to help you sign. Now, I'm going to invite the legislators to go down and sign the replica of the preamble, and then we're going to invite everyone here, if you wish, to come up and sign. Now, before we all leave, though, I'd like to end with this. We'd really like to get a picture of all the students and all the legislators right here on the steps of the courthouse, so please don't go. I'll be back afterwards to give you some more direction. But for right now, could we have our legislators go down and sign the preamble of the Constitution?
Here?
Yep. We have the big one.
Thank you, Jeff. Wow, Michelle has great handwriting. One of the kids.
If we could have our students line up at the tables, there's one on each side, and sign your name if you choose to sign. And some of the students can sign on the big one in the middle too, okay? So you can sign on the big one if you like, or on one of the ones at the table. Take your choice.
Would you just announce that we have bookmarks with the preamble on it for all the kids? Absolutely. And we'll have them with the kids.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a great picture. Good job. Something's up at the top of his eye. Is it as good as it looks from here?
Good touch.
Michelle, we're going to do it.
Oh, I'm sorry. You sent the kids in early.
Am I your way?
Okay, we're going to try one big picture. If everybody would just pull in a little bit and look out to the front. Come on in a little bit. Look at that. Keep pushing now. All right, everybody look forward.
I'm on TV.
Thank you.
The count of three, everyone say Constitution. 1, 2, 3.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, thank you. I want to thank everyone who was involved with this. We appreciate everyone who came out. This is a beautiful day, even with the sun not here, celebrating a rich history of our nation. I particularly want to thank our 5th and 6th graders from East Coventry Elementary and East Vincent Elementary. Have a great day. And we'd like to invite you down to pose with our elected representatives for a wonderful picture.
Right there. I want you to move here.
Also, all students, make sure you pick up a bookmark which has the preamble to the Constitution on it. Teachers, you can take a few too, okay? They're on the tables.
Everybody look at back right there.
Okay.